Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel with me, Caster, and in this video we are going to go through 13 tips for No Man's Sky. Now these tips might seem very obvious to some players, but they might not be so obvious to others, especially new players coming to play No Man's Sky for the first time as of the Worlds update and of course the Aquarius update, which brought fishing to the game. Now what we're going to go through is simple things, and the first one on the list is the visor. You can zoom in with the visor to make it easier to scan those pesky animals, especially flying animals. If you just try and scan like this, it's going to be too difficult to get those ones that are at a distance. Might be able to get that one, yes we can, but it's easier if you zoom in. You can zoom in 2 times the amount from the first one. So there's the visor, in and in. Now I'm doing that by pressing the R3 button on my Xbox controller. It will be similar on the PS5 or 4 controller. Unfortunately, I don't know what it is for PC controls, as I've never used PC controls to play this game. Next on the list is diverting power in your starship. While you're flying around space or in the atmosphere of a planet, you can divert power to each section of your starship by pressing up on my keypad on my Xbox controller. It'd be similar on PS controllers, so you can divert it to engines, shields, balance, so everything gets a bit, and weapons and engines again. So there's a few selections there, so depending on what you want to do, if you want a dogfight, you want to go to weapons. If you're in engines, that means you're going to want to fly somewhere, like over to this space station for example, and it will divert power there, making it a bit more efficient in terms of using energy. If you're in a dogfight, whether against pirates or interceptor ships for doing something wrong or outlawish, and we are having a problem fighting them, or we're getting in ourselves in a bit of a pickle, we're going to die, what we can do is we can call in the anomaly and we can go and hide in there. This also works for space stations, so we go into the anomaly. Hello, and now the interceptors or the pirates cannot get us whilst we are in the anomaly. Let's go and land. There's lots of players in here today. That's good to see. And what we're going to do is we're going to take off straight away and see if they're still there. But that is one way to get out of a dogfight if you're in trouble with interceptors or pirates, or you're fighting a massive interceptor sentinel freighter that comes in if you're on 6 stars. And look, they have gone. The interceptors have left us. So one fun feature of the galaxy map, it's not really practical or useful in any way, I guess, but one fun feature of the galaxy map is when you're traveling to the center of the universe. I'm using L3 trigger to do this on my Xbox controller. If we press R1, we'll have this very fast zoom feature in the galaxy map, which just goes past everything. Quite cool. I like it. We're in the Hilbert dimension. That's why it looks different to the Lucid Galaxy. So we can zoom really fast through the galaxy map. I mean, look how big it is, by holding R1 on the Xbox controller. And if we just want to go back, we can just press B, and it will just take us all the way back to our current location. Whilst we are in the galaxy map, it's a good idea to note that there is a filter system within it. On the top right hand side, they're sort of right to center, where it says filter. It's got economy, conflict, life form, and no filter at all. So this is no filter, this is just normal. And then if we want to find an economy system, we can have a look at the different colors here. And now red, if we expand it, will tell us it's power generation. This blue one here is high tech. The yellow ones are mining. Let's just check that out. That's powered. No, that's a red one. Yeah, manufacturing is bright yellow, I think. There is mercantile economy there, which is green. There's economy here, that's got nothing in it, that one. That one's abandoned. Mercantile is green there. What's this blue one that I've been to? Advanced minerals. Nothing in there. Mining, yellow again. So yeah, they have different colours for what they actually generate in terms of economy. The one thing to remember is it doesn't actually tell you what that is. So that's just me going around and have a look in the galaxy map. Conflict here. We go into the conflict one. We can check the conflict of each system. Tranquil or nothing happening is green, untroubled. Red is where there is stuff going on in terms of conflict. It's perilous conflict there. formidable conflict there. It also highlights pirate systems if you have the economy and conflict scanners fitted in your ship. So that's good. And then there's Lifeform. Welcome to Castanova, where my main base is. And one thing that I wanted to show you here is you can actually summon your freighter into the atmosphere of the planet, or just above the atmosphere, whilst you are on planet. And it's just really cool to have your freighter come in just above your base. And if you have the matter beam in your freighter, you can begin transferring items to and from. I don't currently have it in my freighter. It's one thing I'm looking to fit very soon. And you can transfer items to and from your base, from your freighter, very easily. You can also do that, by the way, by having the storage containers here. So this is storage container number 1. And if I were to go onto the freighter, you would see exactly the same stuff in the storage container 1 in your base as in your freighter, or storage container 2, or whatever. This is storage container 1 over here. That was my exosuit inventory. And the same would be said for, say, storage container 2. So you'd have all these items up in your freighter as well. But I think it's really cool just having your freighter just above your base, just like that. Very nice little feature there, and easier to transfer materials to and from. One thing I want to mention while I'm in the base is the nutrient processor. Now this bad boy has a lot of storage. It has, what, 50 slots of storage? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, 50 items of storage in here. And you can put all these things in here, fill all this storage up with certain items. Not every item, but certain items that you can cook with. And then what you can do is you can pick it up, and it will only take up one space within your exosuit. So you can carry around a ton of items within the nutrient processor. Where is it then in my exosuit? Why can't I see it? There it is in the top right hand corner. And yeah, you can carry it around with you. And then when you want it, when you want all of those items, you just go into your build menu by pressing up on the Xbox controller, by going into the first menu, and it's there, nutrient processor. You just bring it out, put it back where you want it, go back into it, go into the storage, and look, they're still there, which is great. It's great stuff. Loving that. Now, No Man's Sky has a huge amount of items which you can craft from a various amount of items within the game, and there's many items, some of which I'm just discovering now, having played thousands of hours of No Man's Sky. So when you are crafting, you can actually look at the crafting tree. So if we go into crafting by pressing X on the Xbox controller, going on to metal plating, for example, and we can see if I press X, I can view craft steps. So I can view it, and it will just say ferrite dust goes into metal plating. Let's have a look at a bit more of a complicated one. This fusion igniter. If I view the steps on here, I mean, look at the steps. Look at it. It's nuts, right? So you can see everything you need to be able to create the quantum processor and the portable reactor and a geode site, which you need to create the fusion igniter. And they are quite good to make, because one of them is worth 15,000 units. So that's one way of looking at the crafting tree, making it easier to see what you need to craft when making certain items. You can also pin it to your missions sort of thing. So if I press Y on my controller and pin it, it will come up in my secondary missions, and I can also unpin the formula within my log where my missions and my secondary missions are. So a nice way of keeping track of what you need to craft for crafting certain components. Not only can you see the crafting tree of certain components, one thing that you can also do is actually build more than one item when you're crafting. So for example, I'm over metal plating. I want to build a metal plating. Craft a mount with LB and RB. So if I press LB, I can build 2, 3, and I only have enough resources of ferrite dust to build 3, but I can build 2, or I can build just the 1. If I wanted to build something else, can I build anything else? Let's have a look at, say, hermetic seals. I can build a number of those, and I can build as many as the amount of required parts that I need to the amount that I can create. So yeah, one way there of just building as many as you need rather than building one and then you can press X to build another, craft more. But ultimately, I think that's just such a much easier way of building more than one items at once. So the game offers a portable refiner, also offers personal refiners. And once you get to a certain distance in the game, you will have a personal refiner. I have the Mark II here in my exosuit. And I've actually got some glass in here. What you can do is you can actually change the amount you want to put into your refiner. So let's get this pure ferrite here and put this in. And then we can actually add more. If I had more, I do have more, so I can add more into there if I wanted to. It can hold 150 maximum. Or I can actually change the amount by clicking on the pure ferrite by pressing A on my controller. And then pressing the left button on the what's called the D-pad, the directional pad. And it's just changing it from 150 down to 50. And we want to put 50 in there. Or we can put it into the exosuit and only have 100. Or the other way around, put another 50 in, then we've got 50. So another way of getting the exact amount of the item you want within your portable refiner or personal refiner is to click A on it for quick transfer, but then we can do what's called a quick split by pressing X, and that will give us half the amount. If we keep pressing it, it will just give us all the way, half amount all the way to 1, and then we can just put that in whatever one we want. But we can actually move the selection here. So if I want the quick selection to be Starship or Nomad, these are the Exocraft, Colossus, Pilgrim and Minotaur, I can do that. I can just put it in whichever one I want, just like so. We can also, as I said, we can also add more. So it's really a really nice way of managing the amount of the item you want within your personal refiner. This also works for portable refiners, medium and large refiners. Now the terrain manipulator is something everybody has to use within No Man's Sky because, well, it is one of the main tools for getting resources out of the ground and just mining the ground as you would if you wanted to build or whatever it may be. So the terrain manipulator actually has size changes on it, and it has 3 sizes: large, medium and small. And if you use the small one when you are mining out materials like this sodium here, it will actually give you more materials than if you were to go medium or large. Now if you were to go large, it will just rip straight through it like that. I mean, look, it's just absolutely obliterated it. If we go down to medium, yeah, it'll be more materials than large, of course, but less than the smallest amount. And take your time in No Man's Sky. There is no rush. I would definitely suggest using the smaller one when mining materials. So back into our starship then, and I just want to mention the indium drive actually allows you to go to every single star system. Now in my starship at the moment, I have the cadmium drive fitted. I also have the emerald drive fitted. Now the emerald drive will only take you to green stellar bodies, as it says there in the information. The cadmium drive will only take you to red stellar bodies, as it says in the information. Now the indium drive says it will reach rare class blue stellar bodies, but if we take out the cadmium drive, put it in our starship, we take out the indium drive, take it out of our starship, we can see that our hyperdrive range has decreased a little bit. I think it's something like 50 U it adds, might be 100, I think it's 50. Let me know down in the comments. And we only have the indium drive fitted along with a couple of upgrades. I do need to get some S-Class upgrades. I have been looking. So if we go into the galaxy map now, it will tell us that we can go to red star bodies. It doesn't say that we need the cadmium drive to get there. We can go to green star bodies if I could find one anywhere. There you go. There's a green one. It says I can go there. Nice and easy. And I can also go to this blue one down here. So the indium drive does allow you to go to every single system, so you don't have to block up your starship inventory, your starship technology with the cadmium and emerald drive. You can get rid of those and put in some very nice S-Class upgrades and stuff, or you can leave them in there if you want them in there, and it will give you an extra 50 to 100 U. I can't remember which one it is right now. It's not massive amounts, but it is what it is. I'm just going to put them back in there for now and replace them as and when I get some better upgrades. Now, as part of the Aquarius update, which has brought fishing to No Man's Sky, we have got a little thing called the Exoskiff, which we stand on to fish, and it gives us inventory spaces in terms of cold storage to store fish and bait. And the good thing about the Exoskiff is it isn't like other Exocraft. It's not really an Exocraft. It moves very slowly across the water if you want to move it. But essentially, the good thing about this is you can summon it anywhere in the galaxy you like, or in a different galaxy if you're in a different one. You don't need an orbital Exocraft station in your freighter, or you don't need the materializer in your inventory and carry that around with you. You can just summon it wherever you like. And I'll just summon it here. There you go. There it is. I summoned it on this random water world I discovered just now, and this was in a completely different system within the Hilbert dimension. Very nice little thing there that we don't have to have anything to summon this into a certain planet. However, that might change in future updates. I don't know. It might do. We'll have to wait and see. But as of time of recording, when the expedition is still going for Aquarius, you can summon your Exoskiff anywhere you like. When picking up a lot of flowers, I mean, look at this. Look at this collection of flowers. This is a sodium plant. So you can do this with oxygen plants as well. I think you can do this with some plants that you need the hazmat gauntlet for also. But essentially, you do not have to run around collecting each one by sort of, you know, running around clicking X on all of them. Just stand in the middle and you can just move the camera around and you can just select them like that. You don't even have to move the camera in some instances. Look, it's just collecting each one for me. I'm just standing still, not running around like a loon. And yeah, it's collecting all the sodium. I'm just holding X now. And there you go. I can look over there. I can collect that lot now. Just hold X again and it will just collect them all for you. You do not have to run around like a mad loon. And again, we'll go here. Look, get that one. Look at that one. Can we get that one over there? That one might be a bit too far away. Go there. And we can just stand here and collect them all. Nice and easy. Job done. Right, guys. So there you go. There is 13 tips for No Man's Sky. They are some of the, I wouldn't say simpler tips. They're some of the tips that many people might just see as they're just obvious. Unless you know them, they are not obvious. And of course, if you're very new to the game, they're definitely not obvious. So hopefully you enjoyed the video, guys. If you got any value out of it at all, please give it a like. Subscribe for more No Man's Sky content. Hopefully I'll see you in the next video. Take care. Bye-bye.